A dark Sunday in Nigeria, particularly for the Nigerian army. Terrorists overrun the 157 Task Force Battalion in Metele village in Guzamala local government area of Borno State in the troubled northeast region. Metele is a remote village near the border with the Niger Republic. Several reports give conflicting figure of casualties. But the army gives an official figure. It says personnel killed in Metele attack were 23, while those killed in surrounding attacks were 16.
Okay, honorable colleagues.
Motion ably moved by my friend.
The House of Representatives sets up an ad hoc committee to investigate how all the funds appropriated for the fight against insurgency in the Northeast has been utilized, and also unravel the lapses that led to the killings of the soldiers.
The House also notes that initial figures of casualty were put the death toll at 44, but as more details emerged, it is now confirmed that 118 soldiers and officers were killed together with their commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Ibrahim Sakaba, while about 150 more soldiers and officers are still missing.
Whatever pressure we put on these service chiefs, I do not think that anything good can come out of them, because it's like they have reached their wit's end. It is like their intellectual capability, the ability to even fathom what is even going on is even at its wit's end. Therefore, why can they not be changed? Is there a pact between them and the commander-in-chief that says, come rain, come sunshine, even if we lose thousands of soldiers, they will remain sitting pretty on their seats? Mr. Speaker, this is intolerable.
I wish to call on the Chief of Army Staff, by extension of the service chief, to kindly resign. They have failed.
A colleague of ours on this floor, just before myself, has made mention of a situation where the president has said he's going to put them under pressure. But we need to remind ourselves, the president is also the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So I think it would not be wrong to say that the commander-in-chief has failed us.
We think twice before there's killing Kaduna.
Lawmakers prescribed some solutions, even as some fault the different committees of the House, whose mandate is to oversight the armed forces.
I said I really salute our soldiers that are on ground, because the way they stand firm in fighting this insurgency. But to be candid, the equipment for them to attest to that is no longer there.
I believe that as a country, we must start to look at other countries like Pakistan that have done the same thing and fight these battles. We need air support. We should be able to take off from anywhere in 30 minutes, carpet bomb them, Mr. Speaker, sir, to take away from the audacity of Boko Haram.
Yes, there is need for the security agencies to account for the $1 billion that they took. It's very important. There is need for us to continuously know how the resources that they have been given have been applied.
The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, a pressure group, sends an open letter to President Muhammadu Buhari requesting him to urgently set up a commission of inquiry to investigate the spending of defense and military budgets between 1999 and 2018 in order to promote transparency and accountability in the sector. SERAP expresses concern that many cases of those alleged to have diverted and shared funds meant to purchase arms to empower Nigerian soldiers to fight Boko Haram have stalled, given the continuing delay in the prosecution of such cases. Unquote. SERAP says, opacity and deficiency in the way arms purchases are decided and controlled, if not urgently addressed, would continue to expose our soldiers to risk of attacks and killings, displace people and destroy their means of livelihoods and render them homeless, thereby undermining human rights, including the rights to life, rights to personal security, rights to education, and rights to livelihood. End of quote.
Insecurity will continue in this world for as long as human existence goes on. So it pains me that Nigeria lost 40 gallant soldiers in the fight. General, I think it might be appropriate, and if I have time, I can discuss with my colleagues to see how we can localize the issue of Sambisa and the rest. I'm sure we'll have hunters there, we'll have some youths there, and I'm sure those youths who are not Boko Haram are higher number than the ones that are here. So while the army will play the role they need to play, while we attack this, and watch out for the hands that are causing this.
In counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency, you need to look at issues. What are the principles you look at? What are those things you want to achieve? You want to deter, you want to defend, you want to defeat, and you want to diminish, because it is not possible for you to say you want to destroy, especially when you are dealing with partly your own citizens. So, but you cannot, if you cannot defend yourself, it becomes very difficult for you to deter the adversary or the enemy, and it becomes very difficult for you to defeat. We've done so much in the past 2 or 3 years, and we're supposed to be doing stabilization operation right now, which is civil-led. But what is actually happening? There is a lot of vacuum that is left. And so if you can't defend yourself, you can't defend any other person, and you can't deter the adversary, and it becomes difficult to defeat. If the Boko Haram or ISWAP, whatever name you want to call it, if they be degraded, then we cannot afford to sit back and relax. We need to reassess. One, what do we need to do next? Are the equipment okay? Are the guys motivated? If the will to fight is not there, it behoves disaster, because you must continuously motivate the guy. Whether you like it or not, a lot of issues are involved, and not only military, because it's not a military, there's no military solution to this type of something. You need to look at the political issue, you need to look at the economic perspective, you need to look at the sociological perspective. Above all, the military need to look at information that leads to intelligence. You cannot afford to allow your information to leak. A lot of information are leaking. And then it is the information you turn into intelligence. But it calls for a lot of gamut of activities, a lot of efforts for you to move on.
What we need to do is to compel the government of President Buhari to do what it should do. President Buhari is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. That comes with a whole lot of responsibilities. And I believe that right now, the service chiefs have an explanation to make, and that explanation better be a serious one, because there is no reason why we should keep people at their duty posts when continuously they are losing their battalion in the place of war. So the kind of thing that we need to do is to reassess the current strategy of the counter-terrorism war. Is that strategy working? Is the strategy broken? Is there a need for us to completely abandon this strategy and find a different strategy? Are the people who are leading the effort on counter-terrorism, are they being held to accountability? Why is our territory available for terrorists to live in? There's something wrong about that. So we're going to deal with that in a way that takes regional integration into the way that we do our security effort. We're going to look at that from global cooperation. We're going to look at that from the technology that enables us detect and enables us be proactive, preemptive, and proactive in addressing the terrorism challenge.